This is Travel in 10, a series of 10-minute travel shows from around the world that you can download to your iPod and take with you as you travel.
And now, your host, David Brody.
On today's episode of the Travel in 10 podcast, we're traveling back to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada for the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. The city has radically transformed over the last couple of months in preparation for the Games, with new buildings springing up all around the city. Some of the first changes that you could see were in the actual Olympic venues themselves, places like BC Place Stadium, where the opening and closing ceremonies for the Games will be held, as well as the nightly victory ceremonies to celebrate medal winners each evening. Places up at Whistler, where the new ski jumps were built, bobsleigh tracks, luge tracks, as well as all the alpine venue itself. Then places like the new Richmond Oval, one of the most notable venues in the city itself, really a spectacular new landmark here in the city and the host of the speed skating events. But rather than looking at the competition venues, today we're going to be looking at one of the cultural sites, a place called David Lamb Park. This is really a place that you're going to find some of the biggest parties throughout the city during the Games. This has transformed into what's being called LiveCity Yaletown, one of several featuring concerts, festivals, events all throughout the Games. Just a few weeks ago, this was really just a city park, a nice park on the ocean side, and really has transformed completely since then. The big screens have come in where you can watch the sporting events every day, the opening and closing ceremonies. Over 9,000 people were here for the opening ceremonies. And one of the first structures to go up was the Coke Pavilion. And if you're going to check out just one of the sponsored pavilions in David Lamb Park, I would say this is one place worth the wait.
Hello, welcome to the Coca-Cola Happiness House. Come on in and open some happiness.
Please enjoy an ice cold Coca-Cola or Coke Zero at the Perfect Serve Bar with some of our happiness ambassadors.
Perfect, thank you. In addition to all the games and activities you're going to find in the pavilion itself, upstairs they've also got a private hosting area where Coke hosts all of their VIPs throughout the Games. Also has a balcony up there where people can watch the concerts for their employees and VIPs coming throughout the Games, and a media area upstairs as well. The next pavilion we're going to take a very quick look at is the City of Vancouver Pavilion. This wasn't quite open last time I visited David Lamb Park. It is open now, and it really focuses in on sustainability, looking at sustainable housing here in the city, looking at some of what's being done to reduce our carbon footprint in Vancouver and to make it the greenest city possible. The next venue that we're going to look at is right in the center of David Lamb Park, and that's the Panasonic Pavilion. Panasonic went all out with a bit of a splash to open the pavilion, bringing in Sarah Brightman to perform the day of the opening of the pavilion. And Sarah Brightman's also featured in a song that you'll find in their 3D theater throughout the Games. The 3D theater is really the focal point of the whole pavilion. This is where Samsung's showing off some of its latest 3D technology, and every day they're going to feature slightly different films in the 3D theater, featuring the latest highlights from the Vancouver Games, as well as some highlights from past Games as well that really showcase their 3D technology in the best way possible. The other thing you'll find here at the Samsung Pavilion is a bit of a showcase of how they can take some of that 3D technology to your home theater as well. One of the most spectacular things you'll see in the 3D theater, if they're featuring it while you go through, is some footage from the opening ceremonies of the Beijing Games. They've done a great job of translating across into 3D, showing you the full effect. It's really as though you were there in the center of the Beijing Games, getting to experience that opening ceremonies. Right next door, you're going to find another technology pavilion, this one created by Acer Computers, highlighting some of their newest technology, their 3D computers, also some things that really highlight the Olympic experience as well, highlighting the newest of Acer's technology.
Many touchscreens. We've got some touchscreens behind you. Here we've got the gaming center for Predator, which has Olympic games, downhill, any Olympic single-player games. You can play this here. We've got 8-hour battery life laptops over here. We've got touch laptops. We also have the new Android, which is a dual boot. It's got Windows 7 and Android, which is a quick boot for netbooks. And over here we've got a tablet where you can turn the screen around and work as a tablet, and it's also touchscreen. And we've got the body station over here where you can actually rate your body against an athlete's body.
Back of the monitor, so
fantastic. I'll show you the ports as well. It might switch off just before we leave.
So primarily for home theaters, is that the idea that you would?
Yeah, like a media centre, but also, you know, some people haven't got enough space. I mean, this is 1 litre, whereas your traditional desktops are like 30 litres. They're massive.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is really light, so you can move it to place to place. And it's just...
Then the final technology pavilion you'll find here at David Lam Park is the Samsung Pavilion. It features some of the newest phones from Samsung over in Korea. Unfortunately, no matter what they do, they can't make a Samsung phone as cool as an iPhone, but they have introduced some interesting things to the pavilion to come check out. If there's not much of a wait, it's one place that I would recommend probably being last on your list of pavilions to check out in David Lam Park, but if you've got the time, some interesting things to check out while you're there as well.
You can type your email address and it'll email it to you. There's also an SMS function, so you can drag the picture in there. Then you type in your phone number and it'll send us a text message to your phone. Or we can print it out for you and it'll pop out right there. Or we can drag them up onto the share wall, which is that wall right there. So for a few seconds it'll take over the whole thing. There'll be a big picture of you. And then it gets put into the regular feed of all the people going through. You can scale it, you can rotate it. Move it around if you like. Just kind of play around. So what they're doing is every day they're handing out a free snowboard. And by the end, what you do when you're done creating your snowboard is you enter in your name and your email address and your phone number. And if they pick your design as the best one at the end of the Olympics, they're handing out one which is your design.
Now forget all the technology at the Samsung Pavilion. My favorite thing they had there were the sled dogs out front, something that hopefully they'll keep throughout the games. Also at David Lam Park, there's some great food pavilions you can check out, offering different foods from all around the world, so it makes a good place to stop, get a casual meal, and watch some of the games. You can try anything from around the world. The screens here make it a great place to sit and get some of the Olympic experience, and some great content as well. If you check out our new iPhone app on the iTunes Store, the Travel in 10 iPhone app will list all the concerts happening at David Lam Park. Hopefully you're here for the Olympics, you get a chance to come check some of them out and enjoy some of the atmosphere here at David Lam Park.
Thanks for watching the Travel in 10 podcast, a series of 10-minute travel shows from around the world that you can download to your iPod and take with you as you travel. You can find more shows at www.travelin10.com or by searching for Travel in 10 on iTunes.
This has been a presentation of Travel in 10.